Hello, my brothers and sisters in Christ. This is Pastor Diogenes coming to you from Warwick, New York. All right, my brothers and sisters. There's a lot of mixed messages out there about the mark of the beast, and I just want to make things clear to all my brothers and sisters out there. There's a lot of us self-proclaimed Christians that are going to take the mark. And there's people that say God is love and maybe there is a second chance. And why wouldn't God have a second plan, another plan? You got to understand, when God says something, he does not turn back from it. God takes his job very seriously, and so do his angels that serve him. Not the rebellious ones, the ones that do his will. The one that do his work, his holy work. Don't get me wrong. If you turn your back on God, he'll hand you over to Satan and his demons, and then that way they will do his will. But we don't understand God. God, his ways, the word says, are beyond or above our ways. I could probably sit through all eternity to find out how God operates, but not with our minuscule life or minds can we even understand God's ways. But this video is about the mark of the beast. And in order to read about the mark of the beast, you want to go to Revelation 13, verse 11. And the verse talks about the different beasts, and it even refers to one of them as a he. But we don't want to read about that. We want to go to verse 16. It says that he, the beast, required everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on the right hand or on the forehead. Now, whether the beast be a male or a system or whatever he may be, we do not, brothers and sisters, we do not, I repeat, we don't want to take anything on our right hand and or forehead. They could even possibly resemble a mark, especially in these final days. Whether it be a tattoo, whether it be a chip, whatever it may be, we don't want to take that mark. Now, you say, Pastor Diogenes, well, how do you know that? How can I be sure that whatever it is the mark? Well, it says it right here. I'm glad you asked that question. It says, anyone who did not have the mark could not buy or sell anything. So if the government tells you that you cannot buy or sell anything unless you put this thing on your hand or forehead, then we know that is the mark. But why would you take it beforehand, even if, let's say you take it and at that time you could buy or sell, but then down the line you found out that it was the mark, and then you could not buy or sell. And what does that mean for you? When you go to a court and you tell the judge that you do not know the law of the land, is ignorance a defense? It's probably not going to turn out well for you. Ignorance, a lot of times, is not a defense in court. And maybe in most cases, about 99% of the time, I would say, maybe if the judge has some sort of mercy on you, maybe yes. Very difficult though. But if God says something and He even forewarns you, what do you think God's gonna do? There aren't any out of the ordinary circumstances here that will get you out of what God is gonna do to the people who take the mark. And this is what God's gonna do to them. Let's go to Revelations 14, verse 10, or let's start at verse 9. There was an angel that followed them. He followed the other angels. And it says, anyone who worships the beast or his statue, or who accepts the mark on the forehead or the hand, must drink the wine of God's anger. It has been poured out full strength into God's cup of wrath. They will be tormented with fire and burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb. The smoke of their torment will rise forever and ever, and they will have no relief day or night, for they have worshipped the beast and his statue and have accepted the mark of his name. You don't want to fall in any of those, worshiping the beast, worshiping the statue, and mark of his name. Again, it's not specific. We had Kent Hovind said, or I'm not sure if it was him or somebody else, but he says, or some people say, you must do all three of those things. Because this says and you have to do. Some people say you have to do all three of those things together. I am not taking that chance, man. I'm not taking that chance. I'm not taking anything that is going to cause me to have a mark on my hand or forehead. Come on, brothers and sisters. Don't do it. To me, it reads as, this is how it reads to me. If you do one and the other, or the other, that's what it reads like to me. If you worship the beast, let me put it this way. Let's say you worship the beast. What does it mean to worship the beast? To worship the beast, that means that you're going to have to live godlessly. To worship his statue means you have to live godlessly. It doesn't make no sense if you worship the beast or the statue or the mark. You're not worshiping God. Do you think God's going to be happy if you do any of those things individually? And if you do the first one and then you don't do the other two, or if you do the middle one and then you don't do the other two, these things are not pleasing to the Lord. Look what the angel says. This is what the angel says, verse 9. So there will be no confusion. This is what people have to read before and after. Anyone who worships the beast and his statue, or who accepts the mark on the forehead or hand, must drink of God's anger. You must. You have to drink of God's anger. Because then if God doesn't pour his wrath on you, then he would be a liar. And then we all know God does not lie. He's a holy God. So don't take the mark. Plain and simple, do not take the mark. Do not gamble with your lives. Don't put anything on your body that would resemble a mark. I wouldn't put anything on my body. I don't know. Call me shaky or whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to fool around with eternity here, or with my family's eternity.